Alright, this will be a video comparing three different guitar amplifiers. We have the Lekato guitar amp. This says it's the JA05G. It's around that size. I've done unboxings of this and the other two over here, or over here, never remember. The next one is the Donner M3 guitar amplifier. You can tell that they're quite differently sized. And then the last one is this one, the CXLWZ guitar amplifier. That's the AGL20. I don't know how they name these things, but that's that size. So we're going to see whether the size impacts the quality of it. I presume yes. And we're also going to see which one my favorite is and what features I like. So I guess we can start with the CXLWZ AGL20 guitar amplifier. And then afterwards we're going to compare all of them together using my guitar, my Art, and then the Schecter over there, my bass, just to see what they sound like with bass and guitar. So inside this one, pretty simple. It comes with, I've already unboxed these before, so they're out of their packaging. This one comes with its own cable and some paperwork and the amp itself. So I'm going to put this one aside since I have my own cable. But this is the amp itself. I do like the orange color of it. This one has the gain, bass, treble, volume knobs, and it has the input and phone inputs here. It has an aux input for your, if you want to listen on headphones. It has the drive button, and it has the power switch here. On the back, there's nothing. I do like the feel of this. There's a nice grill, nice kind of material here. The material on the amp itself is like this faux leather. I believe that'll be typical with this type of product. All these are relatively inexpensive products, so just comparing the costs between them is not necessarily the best way to do this. Just if you're looking to purchase an amp, you can see what they sound like on camera, or you can take my advice into account. This one does have a handle, which I really like. Anyway, I'm going to put this aside for now. We're going to open up the next box, and we're going to see how that looks next to this one. So this is the Donner M3 guitar amplifier, and these all say guitar amplifier, but I will be trying the bass on them. Inside the box, there is the power cable, which used to come in this box, but I have over here. And the good thing about the Donner, okay, I'm just going to throw this one out. The good thing about the Donner amplifier is that it actually can use batteries. Now, here's the amp itself, and you can see the size difference already. It's like less than half the size. The good thing about this one, that one doesn't have, is that this one can be powered by batteries. Now, the batteries used are AA's, and they're single use. It's not rechargeable, which is a bummer, but for something like this, that's still pretty good. So this can be used by battery, or you can use the relatively short cable to plug that in, and this is 0.5 amps, which is very low power for something like this. So I don't expect it to do so well with the amp, but we'll see. Especially since this one is, what does this say? Does this say power? No, this doesn't say the amperage. This says 100 to 130 volts. This one says 9 volts? What does it say? This one says 100 to 250 VAC. You know what? I don't understand these numbers. What am I talking about? Anyway, I'm just going to put that one here for now. Oh, this one has the, this actually has an extra knob here. So this one is, it has the drive knob, it has the level knob, treble, middle, and bass. Whereas this one has gain, bass, treble, and volume. I never understood why someone miss different knobs and keep other ones. But this has a speaker output if you want to plug in other speakers to this one. It also has the headphones output if you want to listen to it. It has the on button, and it has the looks like the drive button here instead of a drive button. Actually, yeah, this should do the same thing, I believe. We'll see what the difference is between them and how they sound. And that's the DC in port on the back there. So just give a close-up look of that. It's got a pretty nice grill. I think I like this grill better than the other one, because the other one is soft, but this one is, I guess, more classical. And that's what that looks like. And then we're going to put that right here for now. The last one, the Lekato JA05G. Now this is the smallest one, and you'll be able to see how small it is compared to it. This one is used inside the guitar or bass itself. So this one plugs directly in. So opening the box, we have some protective stuff, we have some paperwork, and we have the relatively sturdy USB-C cable for charging. And then we have the amp itself. That's how big this guy is. This amp plugs into your guitar or bass. We'll see how well it does with the bass. It's about that big. It doesn't have too many options, but it has a pretty nice design on the grill. Look at that, it's like a little flower. This one has the effect button. That one changes between different pedal effects. There's the on button over there, and then we have the tone and volume knobs. So tone and volume knobs instead of perhaps bass or treble. It's just the tone, using all of them in one, I suppose, and the volume, which is, volume. And on the back it has this relatively sturdy, this hinge is pretty sweet. It doesn't move at all, and it has the plug over here. And just comparing it to the other ones. So if we're looking at these in terms of travel amps, this would be the most travel-y. You could throw this in a backpack, in your pocket even. Maybe you could just keep it connected to your guitar, although I wouldn't do that if it's active, because that'd use up the battery. Bump, bump. Look at that. Bump, bump. Alright, I think it's about time to plug these babies in, see what they sound like. Now, I do have an extension cable here, all the way from the outlet, a few feet away. Since all these cables are real short, so I can't reach and have them on the little couch thing here at the same time. But anyway, let's bring over the guitar. And the cable. All right. Now, don't make fun of my playing. I'm still practicing. Plug that in there. Click. If you want to get a good look at the guitar. Check that out. I do like the headless designs. And especially that extra sanding down there. It's a really nice fit. It's got a good reverberation for not even being plugged in. Anyway, let's try the big boy first. I'm going to plug this into the extension cable here. Pow. And then we'll plug in, where are we? Here, input. Wham. And I suppose we can put these on the side like that so you can get a good full view of the action. Now, I'm not going to be playing anything special. We're just going to see what the tone sounds like. Ready? Click. Turn everything up to mid. And we're already getting some feedback. So, I've noticed that on this, I'm not playing anything. The treble knob comes with its own feedback feature. Can you hear that? That light is bright. Anyway, it's not super noticeable, especially since I'll be playing guitar over it, but it is something to note. And that light is very strong. Alright, we're going to turn this to mid. Volume is at mid, gain is at mid. Alright. Let's see how loud it can get. That's a pretty good volume for a practice amp, I think. It's satisfactory. It's not super loud, but you'll be able to hear that from across the room while you're practicing. I don't know if you'd be able to hear it super well with the drums, but yeah, I think you probably would. Anyway, let's turn that back up. Let's turn up maybe the bass. Yeah, that's a good increase. Treble. doesn't introduce too much clarity. It's okay. And gain. I'm not noticing much of anything there. Ready? Start at 0. Not noticing almost anything at all. I'm going to press on the drive button here, and we'll see what that sounds like. So it adds a little bit of distortion, it seems. I said I wouldn't play, but... Okay, it's not a super powerful overdrive. But it's okay. Overall, it's okay. It's meh. The effect, the overdrive, it's okay. It adds a good bit of oomph. It does feel a little bit flat on the top. And there is that extra feedback I'm hearing. Now it's off. Now it's on. Now it's off. But overall, it's okay. For a demonstration, that's fine. All right, we're gonna turn that off. Unplug that. Next, we're gonna go on to the Donner one. I'm gonna put that in front there. We're gonna unplug. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna go off with battery power with this, just to showcase that there's nothing plugged in. Look at it go. All right, plugging this in. Turn it on. Turn everything to mid, so we have the drive, level, treble, middle, and bass, all at 5. You can already tell that's a lot quieter. We turn the bass all the way up. Yeah, so the range in this one is maybe like 3/4 or a half of what the range on this one is. Higher volume, and the bass can go lower, the treble can go higher, etc., etc. This doesn't have as much range. That's to be expected. It's about half the size, less than half the size. So I'm gonna mess around with the knobs, see what they do. Level. Still pretty good volume for something of this size, I think. I say it's almost as loud as the as this at full volume with this at full level. Almost as loud. And then the drive knob here. Oh, I see. For this one, I should have had the drive on when I was anyway, oh well. But the drive knob controls how much drive there is when you press the drive button. So let's just... I like that a lot. I like that a lot more. So the fact that this has its own drive knob and it has the drive button here and you can change it. And I think the drive actually sounds more full on this than on this one. This one sounds kind of crunched, kind of compressed. This one sounds more full. I don't know why. Maybe it just has a better range. And that's only at 5. At 10, that'll be shaking the whole house. That might be a bit much. And there is a bit of feedback on this too when the drive is all the way up. Yeah, increasing the level and the drive, you can still hear this. Yeah, it's still there. So they both seem to have it, but it's not super noticeable when it's playing. All right, time to try the last one over here. Now this one will plug just directly into the guitar itself, so no need to use the cable here. All right, and this has already been charged. You got to keep that charged in. I think it's got a couple hours or more of battery in there of straight playing. I'm not exactly sure. Plugging that in, and the good thing about this is that You can kind of angle it how you want. Although I don't love how when you're actually playing, the angle of this is kind of, it's not optimal. Here, let's see if we can. So like if you're playing here and you want to change something on a knob here, it's not super easy. I can keep it kind of angled like that, but whatever. All right, pressing the on button or holding it. There we go. And here's our volume knob. That's got pretty good volume for something this small, I gotta say. Not too much feedback either that I'm hearing. Very little. It's got a little bit of feedback, if you can hear that. Barely noticeable. All right, so let's change the tone and see what that. So we do get distortion if we kind of overload it. So because this is so small, we get that distortion when we just give it too much signal. So this is supposed to be a flat tone, but you can hear the distortion there already. It's not what it's supposed to sound like. All right, changing the tone. Maybe it adds a bit of reverb. It changes the tonal quality a bit. I'm not exactly sure how much that changes, but let's change the effects. So this button here, the green button, when I press it, it changes to yellow. This will probably be in the middle. Yeah. Nice. That's the extent of what I can do. That's pretty good. All right, let's turn the volume down. Try the third effect. And the feedback is a lot louder. For sure. All right. I really like this little one. It doesn't sound as full as the other one, but you can barely tell, and because it's so small, you can kind of keep this all over the place. And turn it off just like that. Unplug it, just put it in your pocket. And it's so much smaller than the others. Look at that. All right. Let's just plug the bass in for a couple twangs each, just to see how well it handles it. I don't know how well the mini one will handle it. Let's just try that straight up, because the bass puts forward a lot more bass than this can probably handle. A lot more energy in there. Okay, look at that, gorgeous. There it is, sticking out of the bottom, just like that. Going in reverse order here. Turn that back on. We're not going to explore too much here, but what's going on here? Not want to turn on? There we go. It's kind of, it also kind of just flops down like that because of the rotation of the, every time. Probably just need to tighten this. Anyway, let's see what that sounds like. Yeah, so we're getting distortion right away, even though this is on the clean setting. So it sounds okay. I'm getting the notes here. It's producing sound. Let's turn the volume up higher here. Sounds good. I mean, it sounds a bit crunched, but it's producing the notes I want, and it's not an awful sound, but it's definitely not a clean sound, which is what this setting is supposed to be. So yeah, it kind of just distorts the signal. It doesn't do very well with bass at all, which is to be expected. These are guitar amps, and this is the smallest one of them. So let's see what the other effects sound like. Just louder, more distorted. Third one. We're getting a lot of feedback here. Ooh, boy. They sound pretty similar. So, not wonderful with bass. I'd probably just use it to practice. Obviously, these are practice amps, and you shouldn't be using them for production or anything. But I still like this guy. All right, turning this one off. We're just gonna plug in the other ones real quick to see what they sound like. All right, where's my cable here? And plugging this guy in. Look, Ma, no cable. Well, for this, it's operating a battery. Turn that one on. Sorry. Do I have my... Yeah, I had it pushed in. There we go, there's our clean tone. Alright, so this can handle a clean tone of the bass. How loud can that go? Alright, let's see if we can overload this by... Close. There it is. Yeah. So that's what it's supposed to sound like. We can get it to... Which is a good effect, actually. If you're looking for, like, oh, if I'm playing more lightly... And then if you wanted to pluck it really hard... Nice. Don't treat your strings like that. Alright, that's that one. Let's plug into the last one here. It's still plugged into our extension cable. Plug into the front. I typically prefer plugging into the top of something instead of the front. It gives it like this ugly effect, and I don't know. I plug the straight end into my bass, so then we're just getting the corner end here, and it's angled down. It's okay, and you have access to more of it in the front. Let's turn that on. We're already getting some feedback. It's a lot louder. What's that? Let's try drive. I don't like this drive. It's not... It's so flattened. And there's no option to... There we go. That's changing it, I guess. It just adds so much feedback. That's so... I guess the gain here changes the amount of overdrive. It still sounds very compressed. Anyway, here are my final thoughts on these three. Where's the other one going? Don't want to lose it, it's so small. So, I would never use this one. There's too much feedback. It just gives me so much noise. And the drive sounds really flat to me. It doesn't have a lot of knobs here. This one has many more options. Sounds almost as loud as this. It sounds better, especially with the drive. It has its own drive and level knobs here. They're separate instead of just the gain here. This uses... Okay, so it confuses me. Here's volume. Here's level. And yeah, volume and level and gain. I never remember the difference between them. But gain seems to control the drive here, whereas this one has its own separate drive knob, which could just be gain, I suppose. It just sounds a lot better to me. This one might be my favorite. It's probably close with this one because I can't put this one in my pocket. This one I can, and it sounds really good for its size. So probably close between these two. This one's probably my favorite, but I really like this one a lot. This one, it's got a nice color. It's got a handle on it, which I like. I think this one could use a handle. Just a little handle there. It's fine. This one doesn't need a handle, obviously. Maybe a little ring right there. No. But these two are nice, especially for the cost. You can get any of them and you'll be fine. But I do prefer these. But I like this one the best. Tell me what you think of the bass. And also the amps. You know, they're good too. Anyway, I'll see y'all.